Some trucks try to be everything to everyone. They load up on chrome, they pile on the tech, they raise the price, they chase the luxury market. They forget what they were built for. And then there is the Toyota Tacoma, which has never, not once in its entire history, forgotten what it was built for. Work, adventure, survival, repeat. The mid-sized truck war has never been more intense. The Ford Ranger got a complete overhaul. The Chevy Colorado came back swinging. The Jeep Gladiator brought attitude. The Rivian R1T brought the future. And Toyota watched all of it. Quietly. Patiently. Then they went into their engineering rooms, closed the doors, and built the 2027 Tacoma. And just like that, the conversation is over. This is not a refresh. This is not a nip and tuck. This is a ground-up reimagining of the most trusted mid-sized truck on the planet. And today, we are breaking down every single detail. Design, interior, performance, off-road capability, and price. So you know exactly what Toyota just unleashed on the world. Before we talk about what the 2027 Tacoma is, we need to spend 60 seconds talking about what the Tacoma means. Because this is not just a truck. This is a cultural institution. The Tacoma has been the best-selling mid-sized truck in America for over 20 consecutive years. Not occasionally, not in good years. Every single year for 2 decades, buyers walked into dealerships, looked at every option, and chose the Tacoma. That kind of loyalty is not built through advertising. It is built through decades of showing up. Tacoma owners are a different breed. Talk to one, and within 5 minutes, they will tell you about the 200,000 miles on their last one, or the time they drove it through a flooded trail in Colorado, or the fact that their father had one, and his father had a truck just like it. The Tacoma is generational. It gets passed down like a family heirloom that also happens to hold lumber.
Toyota understood that weight. They understood that when you touch the Tacoma, when you evolve it, you are not just updating sheet metal and software. You are making a promise to millions of people who have trusted this truck with their lives, their businesses, and their weekends. The 2027 Tacoma keeps every single one of those promises, and then makes a few new ones. The new Tacoma does not ease you in gently. It hits you immediately. The front end is the boldest Toyota has ever put on a production truck. A wide, structured grille that spans nearly the full width of the nose, flanked by sharp, angular LED headlights that are separated from the grille entirely, floating in the bumper face like 2 focused eyes. It is an aggressive face, a confident face, a face that looks like it already knows what it is about to drive through. The hood rises slightly toward the center, a power bulge that is not purely cosmetic. The TRD Pro and new Trail Hunter editions receive a functional cold air intake routed directly through that bulge, feeding the engine cleaner, cooler air at speed and on the trail. The body sides are cleaner than the outgoing model, fewer character lines fighting for attention. Instead, a single strong crease runs from the front wheel arch all the way to the tail, giving the truck a sense of motion even when it is standing completely still. The wheel arches are wide and squared, made to look purposeful rather than decorative, because they are. Bed length options remain, 5-foot and 6-foot configurations, but the 2027 bed brings something new. An integrated rail system running the full interior perimeter, compatible with a completely revised set of Toyota genuine accessories, including dividers, tie-down anchors, a full flat cargo tray, and a new powered tonneau cover that opens and closes from the key fob. Color options expand to 12 for 2027, including 2 new shades exclusive to the Tacoma: Solar Shift Orange, a bold earthy tone that looks different at every time of day, and Glacier Summit White, a cooler, crisper white with a subtle blue undertone. Both look extraordinary against the truck's new bodywork.
Step inside the 2027 Tacoma, and something immediately becomes clear. Toyota listened. The previous generation Tacoma had a devoted following, But everyone, including loyal owners, quietly admitted the interior was a weak point. Plasticky surfaces, a cramped rear seat, a dated infotainment system that felt behind the times even when it was new. Gone. All of it. Gone. The 2027 cabin greets you with a horizontal dashboard architecture that feels open and airy for the first time in Tacoma history. Soft-touch materials cover every surface your hands actually touch. The steering wheel is a new design, thicker grip, flat bottom, with physical controls for the most used functions so you never need to dig into a menu while you're moving. Center stage is a 14-inch touchscreen running Toyota's latest multimedia system, faster processor, cleaner interface, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto standard across every trim level. No more paying extra for wireless connectivity. It is simply there because in 2027 it should simply be there. Below the screen, physical climate controls, actual knobs and buttons for temperature and fan speed, not touchscreen sliders, not haptic panels, real controls that work with gloves on, in the dark, without looking down. A small thing, an enormous relief. The rear seat in the double cab configuration has been stretched by 3 inches of legroom. 3 inches sounds modest until you are 6 feet tall and you can suddenly sit behind yourself comfortably for the first time. The rear floor is also significantly flatter. The previous transmission tunnel intrusion has been dramatically reduced. TRD Pro and Trailhunter models receive unique interior treatments, branded floor mats, orange contrast stitching, an overhead console with dedicated switches for auxiliary lighting and lockers, and a rubberized instrument panel insert that wipes clean after muddy adventures without complaint.
This is where the 2027 Tacoma makes its most important statement. The base powertrain is a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder producing 278 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque. Carried over from the previous generation, but recalibrated for 2027 with a revised torque curve that delivers more pull at lower RPMs. Exactly where you need it when you are towing a loaded trailer up an incline or crawling over a rocky trail at low speed. But the headline, the powertrain that changes the conversation entirely, is the new 2.4-liter turbocharged hybrid system. Toyota took their proven hybrid technology, paired it with the Turbo 4, and produced a combined output of 336 horsepower and an astonishing 465 pound-feet of torque. More torque than any mid-size truck has ever offered at this price point. Available from nearly 0 RPM because the electric motor delivers its force instantly before the turbo even builds boost. Towing capacity with the hybrid system reaches 6,500 pounds. Payload 1,440 pounds. Fuel economy an estimated 26 miles per gallon combined. A truck with these capability numbers returning 26 miles per gallon was a fantasy 5 years ago. It is a 2027 Tacoma now. Off-road capability on the TRD Pro and Trailhunter trims reaches a new level for this segment. Fox internal bypass shocks with remote reservoirs, the same technology used in desert racing trucks, come standard. Multi-terrain select with 7 surface modes. A disconnecting front sway bar for maximum wheel articulation on serious terrain. Crawl control, a front locker, and 11.6 inches of ground clearance that lets the Tacoma step over obstacles that would stop most trucks cold. The 2027 Toyota Tacoma starts at $38,400 for the SR trim. The TRD Off-Road, the sweet spot that most buyers will land on, comes in at $46,600. The TRD Pro sits at $58,700. And the new Trailhunter Edition, the most off-road capable Tacoma ever produced, is priced at $62,900. Fair? More than fair. For what you are getting, the engineering, the capability, the reliability reputation, the resale value that beats every competitor in this segment by a margin that should embarrass them. The 2027 Tacoma is not just competitive, it is the benchmark. 20 years at the top of this segment was not luck, it was earned, truck by truck, mile by mile, owner by owner.